Um, I think as I said, the mere fact that it brought the two sides together, two sides that haven't spoken, that have not had diplomatic relations for so many years, is in and of itself an achievement. And as Ambassador Durrani said, you can bring the horse to water, you can't make it drink. So I think one has to look at this as an achievement in and of itself. But I'd like to bring the conversation back to Afghanistan because I think that fellow colleagues here made some very interesting points. I very much concur with Dr. Sharifi, who said that the opposition is not a monolith. So if you are hoping that Pakistan will use its newfound leverage and its newfound sort of gravitas on the regional and international stage, it's pretty difficult when the opposition is not united, that they have such, diverging views on how to proceed. And you're faced with a Taliban that still has a very triumphalist mentality. They believe they won on the battlefield and they won on the negotiating table, and they don't feel they need to compromise. They don't. So it's a bit difficult on top of everything when you're not united. Then taking from Ambassador Haidari's very interesting proposal that the region has to deal with them as a united front, as a bloc rather than on an individual basis, that is the ideal scenario. And yet so many of them have already gone the every man for himself road. From Uzbekistan to Turkmenistan to Kazakhstan, you name it, China, and even Pakistan and India to an extent have all engaged in trade, some kind of engagement. It doesn't have to be a formal recognition like Russia, but they've engaged. So how do you bring out all these people on the same table and say, no, 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 moving forward, you don't deal with them until ABC? So we're dealing with a major challenge here where, yeah, the opposition's got to kind of get its act together before Pakistan is seen as the entity that can push their file forward.
All right. Okay. In that case, would it be what would it boil down to as the top three key factors that could, stall the dialogue between Pakistan and Afghanistan? I believe Pakistan's demands on Afghanistan not providing any infrastructure or help to TTP is one of the biggest thorns in its sides, right? So how can Afghanistan or Taliban really, address Pakistan's concerns on this topic?
Are you asking me or?
Yes, Tanya.
Unfortunately, in this case, dialogue is important. I remember back in 2001, before 9/11, I was in Rome and interviewed the former king. And even he was saying at the time, we have to talk to them. We have to talk to them. It's horrible. The situation is terrible, but we have to sit down and we have to do this through dialogue. So that I think is the key. Uh, they are there. They're not leaving. There's no appetite for any country to get in there and remove them by force. So they have to be engaged through dialogue.